Welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11, and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Here to take a look at pitching for today, the 21st of August. It is Friday. We do have a 13-game main slate ahead of us this evening. Potential rain delay in Chicago for the White Sox game, but it shouldn't be too bad. We'll just have to pay attention to timing because both pitchers in that game appear to be viable. One of the pitchers in that game has been really, really good this season. So, but yeah, this is a first look at the pitching options on the slate. And I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you play in FanDuel, cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now let's just jump right in since we have 13 games to go over. Couple of openers planned, so really it's 28 pitchers in the pitcher pool. Trying to cut that down in half at least for now, and then we can spend the next couple of hours digging in and trying to finalize what we're going to go with tonight. Toronto and the Yankees. Toronto going with an opener, and then potentially planning on Arrighetti. I'm not sure if it's for sure. The on track to pitch Friday if we need him. I don't really know what the if we need him part stands for. Just 50 pitches in his rehab start. So that kind of means he's going to be a little bit limited, I would assume. Obviously, the Yankee matchup is probably decent for him for an upside standpoint from strikeouts, etc. But I'm just going to play the wait and see game with Arrighetti. He kind of let us down a lot this season with the Astros. Early, he started out good, and then he kind of faded. So it's kind of the wait and see what we get out of him. But he is somebody I obviously liked early in the season. On the other side, you get Cam Schlittler. Schlittler is somebody I'm definitely using. I have some reservations, which is weird to say because the overall Toronto lineup should not be scary at all. He's been decent against them in 3 starts. Not spectacular by any means. He does have 7 strikeouts in each of the 3 starts. So even though Toronto doesn't strike out a whole lot, he's able to pick up strikeouts. Just 4 earned in the 18 and third innings, but that's come with 27 base runners, 18 hits, and 9 walks, which is something that's, not normal. He has 9 walks and 3 starts against them. He has 34 walks in just 26 starts this season. So that means he's got 25 walks in 23 starts against other teams. I like Schlittler. I think his upside is somewhat limited, especially at home. His numbers at home have been more pedestrian, I'd still call them above average, but not as phenomenal as he's been on the road. So if you wanted to fade Schlittler, I guess I wouldn't argue against it, especially at 11K. I just think there's a route to him being the highest scoring pitcher on the slate. So I don't know if I can fully fade something like that. San Francisco and Boston, you get Logan Webb and Sonny Gray. Logan Webb, somebody that I use plenty. I don't really want to use him much on the road. Even though 3 starts ago on the road, he put up a 30 spot. Pretty strong road performance there. 26 on the road in Milwaukee, which is probably a pretty strong performance when in context, and you see what other pitchers do on the road in Milwaukee. I think he's a fine play. I'm just not overly excited to use him. His K rate's much better on the road, which you kind of expect because he has to pitch a little bit different, which then means he's trying to be a little more perfect, allows more walks, more home runs, etc. So that comes with that volatility. Traditionally, he has been much worse on the road as well. A big price difference between he and Schlittler, but if you told me you could only play one of them, I would go with Schlittler. On the other side, Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray is somebody I'm definitely going to utilize. Basically 30 DK points in 2 out of his last 3 starts. One of those was at home against a powerful White Sox squad. Kind of all over the place recently, but I still like Sonny Gray. Fantasy point-wise, he hasn't been as strong at home, but underlying numbers and everything else-wise, he's been much better at home than on the road. He just has a lot more road wins, and that's pretty much tilting that. I like Sonny Gray quite a bit tonight, but I also like one bat from San Francisco quite a bit. I won't divulge that here, but the members of DFS Army will definitely see that in my notes this evening. Washington, Miami, Gusto. He's an interesting play. He started out super hot in the Cincinnati game that kind of fell apart. Washington could be without Abrams yet, and then, if that's the case, obviously they trade away Luis Garcia, Curtis Mead, Wood is on the IL. Like, the lineup has gotten so much weaker, but I can't see myself using Ryan Gusto on a 13-game slate. It's one of those where if somehow Gusto is in the nut build, I'm just not building the nuts tonight. On the other side, you get opener and long reliever. I have zero interest in that combination. Dion was pretty strong 2 games ago in 4 1/3. Couldn't pick up the win, but 7 strikeouts, like, pretty strong numbers there. But I just can't do it. If we're looking at like a 5 or 6 game slate, I might consider it, just because like that 23 came without getting the W as well. So does that mean he has 27 to 30 fantasy point upside, even as a long reliever? He might, but we don't really know if he's going to go full long reliever. Like, that was 4 1/3. A lot of his other performances are 2 innings and 3, 1, less than 1. We just don't really know for sure. And 13-game slate, I'm just not willing to make that gamble to try to find out. Tampa Bay and Baltimore. Baltimore gets to face Freddie Peralta, and I can tell you I will not be playing Freddie Peralta. 3 strikeouts or fewer in 3 out of his last 4 starts. Just a terrible season overall for Freddie Peralta. If he finally wakes back up and remembers how to pitch, then I lose the slate. So it's kind of similar scenario. Wasn't terrible against Baltimore the first time he faced them, but he wasn't great either. A lot of pitches, only 4 2/3. I just no thank you. On the other side, you get Trevor Rogers taking on Tampa Bay. His last start came against Tampa Bay, and he was pretty good. I am choosing to probably pass on him because I don't necessarily like picking on Tampa Bay. I think left-handed pitching against Tampa Bay is probably better than right-handed pitching, but still, he obviously went for 20.7 in the last appearance versus Tampa Bay. His first one against them, negative 5.8 fantasy points. So we could get 20 out of him, but I have a feeling we're going to see more like 8 to 12 here. Like 2 out of his last 4 starts. But yeah, I just think it's somebody I have to pass on. He's been worse pitching in this ballpark as well. So as much as I've been pushing for Trevor Rogers to figure it out after a long slump, I just don't think that this is a spot that I want to put American currency on him. New York Mets and the White Sox. The game I mentioned about possible delay. Sean Burke is the pitcher that's been pitching phenomenally this year. Now, 2 out of his last 3 starts have been really bad. Actually, 1 was really bad. 1 wasn't terrible, but just not great for fantasy purposes. Aside from that, though, like, he's had 25 plus in 6 of his last 8. He just doesn't have a ton of bad outings this season. Pitching at home, overall probably been better at home. He just only has 2 wins in 12 starts at home. That's just wild for how well he's thrown the baseball. I'm going to use Sean Burke tonight. I feel pretty confident in him. I realize some of the Mets bats have been pretty good over the last couple weeks, but still, I think Sean Burke makes a ton of sense. On the other side, we get Sean Manaea. Somebody that makes a ton of sense to me. 7+ strikeouts in 3 straight. 2 starts ago, 11 strikeouts, 7 innings. He's 191, 93 pitches. He has 99, 97, 108. I do like to pick on the White Sox with left-handed pitching. They do have a couple guys that I am worried about in Miguel Vargas, Randall Grichuk, maybe Chase Meadroth a little bit, but I like the upside. This is more of a volatile play, but I am going to be playing Sean Manaea tonight. Just hunting that upside, really. The A's and The Astros. JT Ginn, not somebody I'm interested in. I'll be fine passing on him. He's been pretty good away from home, but I like Houston's bats at home enough. Hayden Wesneski is somebody I'm debating yet. Strikeouts kind of popped back up against Seattle, but had some struggles. The A's lineup looks really bad. They just lost Jacob Wilson as well for the year, so that means they're without Jacob Wilson, Brent Rooker, Shea Langeliers, Nick Kurtz, and Tyler Soderstrom. That's basically their 1 through 5 hitters when they're all healthy. So that lineup alone, you just have to be willing to pick on that lineup. It's just a matter of, do I believe that Wesneski can be that guy? Detroit and Kansas City. Troy Melton's expensive. I like the talent. Not a huge K guy overall. Has some spikes in Ks. Struggled a little bit with Kansas City with walks, etc. The first time I faced him. I'm probably passing on Troy Melton. It feels weird because he's somebody I'm very interested in long term. Noah Cameron on the other side is somebody that I am definitely using. 28 plus in 4 of his last 5 starts. 35 plus in 2 out of those 4. Just throwing the ball really well. Detroit's a tougher matchup, but one of those in his last 5 was against Detroit, where he put up basically 29 DK points. I am going to the Noah Cameron train. He's been worse at home, which is kind of weird, but somebody that I'm playing a lot of tonight. Angels and Rangers, you get Detmers versus Gore. I feel like we get this matchup all the time, but maybe we don't. Detmer's coming off of an insane 43 fantasy point performance. He had 19 2 starts ago against Texas. That's pretty solid. It's just the walks kind of got to him. He's kind of all over the place, but, he and Gore are like the same type of pitcher. Averaging 23 DK points per start against Texas this year, and that comes with a 19 and a 6. So that tells you what, that first start was, a 43 spot. He has multiple 40-plus starts this season. Yeah, you just have to play Detmers in your MME. And Gore, last time against this squad, he put up 24.4. Pretty solid performance. Put up 5.2 and then 23.7. So he has some pretty strong starts against them as well. A little bit unlucky with the runs when they happen because his underlying numbers, 23 strikeouts and 16 and third, super strong. So using both pitchers for sure on this slate. Cleveland, Colorado, I want to mix in some Joey Cantillo. I just might not. This is one's kind of debating it. It's obviously not the greatest ballpark, but I do love left-handed pitching against Colorado. His road numbers have been pretty bad. He has a pretty high whip, and I don't like the high whip going into Colorado because big innings can happen with high whips. Cincinnati and Arizona, Nick Lodolo, another guy that I keep waiting for to wake up and show out, but it's just not going to be against Arizona. Eduardo Rodriguez, somewhat capped upside in general, but he put up a 30 spot against the Dodgers just 2 starts ago. And Cincinnati strikes out a ton. He did struggle against them the one time. A lot of walks, etc. Pitching at home, where he's been pretty good, I have no problem using Eduardo Rodriguez. He's not somebody I want to be super heavy on, just because I don't feel like he has that huge ceiling. Minnesota, San Diego, I've been playing Connor Prelip. I'm just not going to play him tonight. I just don't know that I want to rely on him on a 13-gamer. Musgrove, it could be Vasquez. I haven't gotten the official word on what they're doing. Whoever San Diego's going with, I'm going to pass. Musgrove's probably going to be limited pitch count-wise. Otherwise, Vasquez is just not somebody I like upside-wise. The Cubs in Seattle, I am debating Matthew Boyd. His recent starts haven't been the greatest, so that's a worry. Strikeouts are down, walks are up, home runs allowed are up. Hancock's not somebody I'm utilizing against the Cubs, even though he can do what he did last time. 27 fantasy points. Felt like kind of out of nowhere because he had been pretty bad leading up to that. Last game on the slate, Bubba Chandler. Keep waiting for him to just blow up too, but not against the Dodgers, even though they are coming out of Coors. And he has been decent recently. I'm just going to pass. He doesn't strike out as many batters as you expect with that talent and the arm that he has. Yamamoto on the other side, definitely somebody I'm utilizing. A ton of K upside in this matchup. He's been slightly worse at home, but still, like, his underlying numbers are just really strong. I am using Yamamoto a lot tonight. But there we have it. There's our first look at the pitching options on the slate. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at the FS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., there's a link in the description below. Promo code BOOK, BOOK, gets you 20% off. Best of luck, everybody.